Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is October 12th, 2020, and we're on episode 105. Okay, today we're going to take a look at Judge Dredd, False Witness. This is 3 of 4 in the arc. And let's take a look at who's written this. It's Brandon Easton is the story. Kay Zama is the artiste. So, just want to go over this real quick. Judge Dredd actually was created in the mid-70s and particularly started out as kind of more of a cartoon strip type thing in the British magazine 2000 AD, and I believe it's still running in that magazine today. So it's been around for a while, and it wasn't just an immediate hit. It actually didn't make the first issue of 2000 AD. It came out in the second one. And it sounded like there was a lot of different rewrites on this character, even though he seems pretty basic. But here's what we've got here. And he's kind of based apparently on Dirty Harry a little bit. So if you're familiar with the old Clint Eastwood classic, Dirty Harry, it's got his roots for Judge Dredd here. So Judge Dredd in the cover here is holding up a wanted poster of Matthias. He's someone that grew up in what they consider the wasteland. It's radioactive. It's not in the mega cities. Mega city is mostly along the East Coast, and the mega city 1 is particular. They have these gigantic towers that hold about 50,000 people apiece, and each one's named after a famous political or even TV character. So it's got a little bit of humor in it that way too. When they're saying, "Oh, he's in the Huey P. Newton block," you kind of wonder where that's what the if it's going to match what your first thoughts about that character are. So what we've got here, Judge is after this one particular fugitive who has been escaping his grasp over the first 2 issues. The first issue was really good, really nice setup. Second issue went a little bit woke, and the third issue brought it right back on track, mainly because they incorporated a couple twists that you really don't see coming. And the second issue kind of sets you up pretty well. They do a lot of tropes that we've been seeing lately. Female heroes, better than everybody else. White villain, white guy, white male villain, that type of thing. But our expectations have been subverted. At the end of the second issue, in fact, Galen Filth, who's the main criminal here, is dead. So halfway through this series, he shows up dead. So that's it's a kind of a new twist on here. I don't want to go too much into it because it actually got really good in this issue. I was really excited to read this. It got better and better. I was like, whoa, because after issue 2, I was almost not going to recommend it, but I stuck with it, and I'm glad I did. So they're investigating the death of Galen Filth. He's this media giant, and I'm trying to think who he'd be like today, on par with. He's kind of like a Jerry Springer, but a super successful Jerry Springer. If you remember Jerry Springer, or Maury Povich, somebody like that. But he's also very corrupt. He's a major criminal. And we discover a lot about him over the next few pages. The art in here is pretty good. I like the themes, the way the colorist has done the work on here. It's not just stuck in a one hue type look. It's bouncing around a bit, and the drawings have some depth to them, a little detail. There was quite a bit of action in here. Not every page was action packed, but there was enough to keep you going and turning the pages. There's a few flashbacks to when our main character Matthias had first come to Mega City. He was a refugee, and he joined the academy. He was going to be a judge, but I don't want to give away everything because it's just a really good story. It's turned into a really good story. The conclusion will be the next issue. So Stick with me. You can see here's some of the action shots. I'm just going through it real fast. And it's to be concluded at the end here. Next month, Matthias, he's been captured by Judge Dredd at the end of this one. Once again, I think he's caught him once or twice during this arc. And we get a shot. I believe that's supposed to be Cassandra Anderson, the judge, but this is PSI, and she's not wearing the helmet. And let's see if we can get a cover shot for the next one or not. I don't know if there's one here. No. Oh, this is kind of interesting. They're doing a comic on the history of Redbone, which was a band in the 70s. It was all Native Americans. They had one hit, Come and Get Your Love, which was featured in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie at the very beginning, the first one. It's just a really nice song, and I remember that from my childhood, actually. It was a song that I hadn't heard in years, and I'm watching that movie going, oh my God, they're playing that song. That's a great song. So anyway, recommended. Get on this book if you haven't already, or wait for the trade. It's only 4 issues, so I don't know if there'll be a trade on it, but it's definitely worth the read in my opinion, especially for fans of Judge Dredd. I know there's been a lot that have been complaining of late that the stories are a little too woke. He's not really in character. I haven't read a lot of Judge Dredd. I've read probably about a couple one-shots and another arc, and I enjoy them. And maybe he is getting a little softer on some of the suspects. He's not so brutal, but in this one he seems like he's been pretty brutal throughout while trying to capture this elusive Matthias, who's got a lot of skills, and he's trained as a judge, so he's a formidable opponent for Judge Dredd. So, as always, please subscribe, please like, please comment, and I really appreciate you stopping by the Temple of Tomes. This is Indie Comics Jones bidding you adieu.